Man, I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions about how these things grew. What a letdown. Hey, everybody, Mntdewmania here, and welcome back to Friday. And you guys know what Friday is. It is Redneck Rant time. I think I got a good one for you this week as the sun sets here and we do us just a little bit of fishing. And if you saw that little intro clippy madoo, I think you got a good idea of what the letter J stands for. J is for jumping into. um, People. Well, now let's do this right, like we always do. Let's go to the handy dandy dictionary, and I had to do a little finagling, but I finally figured out how I wanted to say this. The definition of jumping in is to join or enter into exuberantly, eagerly, hastily, etc. That's the kind of jumping I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like jumping into the water or something like that. Or, I'm talking about too eagerly jumping into the middle of something that most times we do not have any reason to be anywhere around, much less in the middle of. Perfect example of what I'm talking about is when two friends, relatives, whatever, are fighting, and instead of letting people just figure it out and work it out for themselves, we have to jump into the middle of it and put our 2 cents into it, even if we weren't invited to do so. Okay? That can get you into some trouble sometimes. It's. Now, I am in a bad position to probably talk about this because, and I will not, I'm not going to cushion anything for myself. I always try to tell it like it is. I have a daughter. She is soon to be 23 years old. She lives on her own. She has since about a year after getting out of high school. She bought her own place. So it's, I went and, helped her get a loan, and she got her own place. She pays her own bills. She has her own job. She has her own life. She invited her boyfriend to move in with her, and they have known each other literally since like pre-K. They didn't start dating till, later, but I did not say anything. I If you're going to let your kids grow up and be out on their own, then you have to do that. Now, I like the boy. He's nice. He's respectful and polite. He's funny. He's smart. He's a good kid. He works hard. They pay their bills together. They, have their own little life going. But sometimes when there's a little tiff going on, I find it very hard not to jump in the middle of it simply because it's my daughter. And I don't know how else to say it. It's my kid. What are you gonna do? How dare you speak to my daughter like that? That is my daughter. I find it hard not to say something. So I try my hardest, I really do, to stay out of the middle of their fights or, little conflicts. But it's, it's hard. As a mother, as a parent, it is hard. I'm sure it's hard. Now, most people, if I know two friends are fighting, I would rather not be in the middle of it. y'all are both adults. Go at it. Whatever y'all want to do. Please do not drag me in the middle of it. But sometimes you get drug. You don't jump into the middle of it. You get drug into the middle of it. But and I mean, you got to just try to work through the best situation you can and just hope for the best sometimes. But there is a difference between, being, hey, we need your advice on this, or just sticking your face right in the middle of something when nobody needs anything from you. And 9 times out of 10, you make it worse than what it already was. You know? Now, there are different kinds of jumping in, okay, or jumping to. Um, I am a big believer in what Ben Franklin said. He goes, to succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions. That's true. I think sometimes we need to focus more on what we're doing on what instead of what everybody else is doing. I think a lot of people have missed good opportunities and good chances in their own lives because they can't keep their noses out of everybody else's business. Now, I mean, and I don't know, are we wired like that, guys? Is that what it is? Are we conditioned now? I watch a lot of Philip DeFranco, and there has been this phenomenon going here lately, just about people jumping to wrong conclusions. And not just ordinary, everyday people like us. I'm talking like big name newspapers, big name media, you know, just off the wall, crazy stuff. They jump into a story, they don't gather any facts, and they jump to conclusions about stuff and print it like it's the gospel truth. Well, people are lazy. They ain't gonna go fact find. They're not gonna go research through 100 different places and a dozen different. They're not. They're gonna take it at face value. You know, and just jump to whatever conclusion that the media is leading on. And you've got this, and people get hurt. People lose jobs because of stuff like this. And it doesn't just happen to like movie stars I mean, it can happen to you at your workplace or at your school. You know, something will get started. Somebody's mad at somebody. Fred's mad at Sally. Well, to get back at Sally, Fred says a whole bunch of stuff that's not true. Well, people start jumping in the middle of it, and before you know it, you've got this big, huge, disastrous fight with people that have probably been friends forever, hating each other, people getting in trouble. I mean, you've got to stop and, think about stuff before you just jump to conclusions or jump in the middle of something that you don't know what's going on. Okay? Everyone has an untold story hidden behind closed doors. Okay? Try to understand that people are not always as they first seem. Now, this is a big thing that happens on YouTube a lot. I guarantee you, folks, I guarantee you, when you see somebody doing a vlog or something for a channel, okay, guys, do not take that person at face value. Now, I don't mean that they're lying. I'm just saying that some of the people, you watch their vlogs. My God, how could they be so happy in their lives 24/7, 365 days a year? Okay? Do not jump to that conclusion from watching a few vlogs that you know somebody intimately. Okay? I guarantee you there are more facets to that person than you know, but in order to have good videos and be positive, and be a good influence, You see a percentage of that person. So don't jump to the conclusion that, oh, yeah, I know so and so. I mean, my God, I watch them all the time. No, you watch what they put on a video all the time. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, I'm so depressed I feel like jumping off a cliff, because that's probably not going to be, I want to be a positive person. I want, when you come to watch a video, I want to inspire you somehow, or make you smile, or make you laugh, or make you feel good. You know? If I'm having a rotten day, me and my husband just had a big fight, I'm not going to tell you that. You won't see that facet of it. So, I mean, I don't know. And people aren't lying. They're not lying. They just don't share every single facet of themselves. And that can go the other way around. Before you jump into the middle of something, okay, there is something my daddy always said. There's a quote that I found. There is always, it's by J. Michael. Remember, there is always two sides to every story, while understanding is a three-edged sword. It's your side, their side, and the truth is in the middle. Get all the facts before you jump to conclusions. That's something that my daddy has always tried to teach me. If there is a fight going on, okay, and it's between how many people, there is their truth, the way they see it, okay? There is their truth, okay? Person number two, that's the way they see it, okay? And then there is probably your truth from what you are glimpsing, but then there is the truth, okay? So-and-so said that your building's too tall, okay? That's whatever. But I didn't hear it like that. I heard that this is the biggest monstrosity that's ever been built in Minecraft. It's ugly, it's misproportioned, it doesn't have a roof, it's terrible, it's plain. That's what I heard. That's the truth I know. Okay? Well, while I'm sitting here sulking about it, somebody's going to jump right in the middle of it. Well, you shouldn't have said what you said about so and so. They were just being some constructive criticism. You see what I'm saying? Before you know it, one comment, one thing said, one thing taken the wrong way can turn into this whole big mess when it probably didn't even need to be anything. Because people cannot stay out of stuff. We all have an opinion, and we all want to be heard, so we all just jump right into the middle of the soup. It's just, I don't know. I try not to do that. I have found as I've gotten older in life, sometimes you just need to stay out of stuff. Okay? I mean, yeah, I have an opinion on a lot of things. I have also learned the hard way that sometimes you can put your opinion in and it can just whip back around and slap you in the face. I have learned that the hard way. Okay? But I don't know. There's a difference between knowing somebody, okay, and hearing about somebody. All right? Just because you heard doesn't mean that you know. All right? Keep that firmly in mind the next time you're getting ready to, all right, I'm pushing up my sleeves and I am jumping into the middle of this fight and I'm going to start swinging with what I know. Well, before you do that, check your facts and make sure of what you think you know. Okay? And secondly, make sure that you jumped into the right thing. Okay? Sometimes you might not even need to be in it. It could make it worse. Okay? I have had to deal with that on a personal level. Sometimes you need to just come out and say, look, I don't want to be in the middle of this. So please don't pull me in. And I will try not to jump in. Okay? So it's better that I probably don't know about it. Now, that's easier said than done. I realize this. It is. I totally understand. But let me leave you with this life lesson that I have learned. So this little, it can apply to just about anything, but especially when it comes to jumping in or jumping to conclusions. Before you assume anything, any fact, anything you think you know, try this crazy new method. Okay? It's called, are you ready? Asking. ASKING. Ask questions about something. Get your facts right before you jump into something. Okay? Make sure you know the people, the facts about them, the facts about the situation, not what you've heard. Okay? If Tom and Fred are fighting, I'm not going to go to Jane and find out about what. I'm going to go to Tom and Fred. Because they know. Most of the time. Alright? So, before you jump in or jump to conclusions, have your facts right. Okay? If you want to weigh in on a situation or a conversation or something, okay, have your facts right. Okay? Because I'm telling you, you can save yourself a lot of headaches and a lot of heartaches by sometimes not jumping in or jumping to. It can get messy quickly. So ask questions. Alright? Alright, guys. There we go. J is for jumping in or into or to. And let me know in the comments below if you want to share with me. Have you ever done that? Have you ever jumped into something that you wished you had never been in the middle of and you found out too late? Or you had, be honest, with me, like me, have you jumped to a conclusion and found out, you know what, man, was I wrong? Wow. And I've done it, and I'm sure everybody else has done it. So if you want to share with me, that would be great. If you ever have a suggestion for a rant, let me know. Leave it in the comments below, and I will jot it down for future reference. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next Friday for another rant. And we will be on the letter K, I do believe. And I hope I got a good one for you. And I will see you next time. Until then, this is Mntdewmania. This is RedNeck Rants, Season 5. I am so out of here. Later, guys.